So get ready for another dating crazy story. So I was minding my own business, going to the grocery store, buying groceries for me and my kid, and then I saw this guy buy the watermelon, and I was going to buy watermelon, and I saw him tap the watermelon, and when he tapped it, he heard something, and then he put that watermelon in his cart. Like, oh, interesting. He's like, what are you listening for? He said, oh, this one that sounds this way is better than this other one. I mean, it's pseudoscience. I don't believe any of it. But anyway, he showed me his methodology of picking the best, the fittest, and the sweetest watermelon. And I said, oh, cool. So he tapped one and he put one in my cart. And so we started talking. I found out he was Jamaican like me and he was older, but he still looked good. He looked great. I thought he was attractive enough. And then he walked with me and he was picking up stuff and I was picking up stuff. I was like, oh, cool, nice. You know, he's picking up stuff and we're basically started talking and ended up like shopping together. When we were done shopping and we cashed out, he wanted to walk me to my car. So I was like, oh, cool. So he's pushing his cart, I'm pushing my cart. And then we realized that he thought he was walking me to my car. He said, okay, I'm parked over there. I said, oh, I'm parked over there too. Come to find out, we were parked right in front of each other. So I was parking this way, he was parking right in front of me. So it's like, oh my God, what a coincidence that we park at the same spot almost. We're right in front of each other. So like, that's interesting. So anyway, he was nice enough. He asked for my number, asked if I was single. I told him I was divorced. He said he was divorced too, and that he was divorced twice, and that I'm gonna be his third wife. So I was like, oh really? And then anyway, I gave him my number. He was nice enough. It's okay, and we were having a good dialogue. So it's okay. So he calls me the next day, and not the same night. He called me to make sure I reach home, and we had a good chat. It was okay. Nothing rude, nothing odd, nothing weird. So I'm a kind of person where I have a lot going on in my life. I have a lot of work. I do my side hustles, and I don't have time to be distracted by relationship. I know you have to focus on relationship, but I'm doing me, and if you come in my life, if I like you enough, I'll put everything aside to give you attention, but I don't give you too much attention until you prove that you're worth it. Sorry, that's how it is. Because what I've noticed in the past, let me just wipe off my camera here. What I've noticed in the past is that when I start talking to somebody, I give them all of my time and my attention, and then they end up being a waste of time, and then I wasted all that time. So I'm not doing that no more. You have to prove you're worth my time for me to stop what I'm doing to give you attention. I'm sorry, that's all it is. So he texts me here and there, I respond, but I'm not really carving out time for him. So he calls me one day, he's like, hey, you know, I don't feel like you're giving me any energy. Like, I mean, I want to feel like I'm needed. I said, okay, I mean, we just met, so, I mean, you know, it's part of the getting to know you process. I can't meet you today and then I'm like all over you right away. It's like I have to get some time to know who I'm dealing with. So I said, okay, fair enough. He's like, but I haven't seen you in like a week. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to the store right now. If you want, you can meet me. Because he had told me that he was like 15 minutes away from the store. And I also was 15 minutes away from the store. But we were in different directions. I said, I'm going to the store right now. If you want to see me, you can come right now. And I just said that, you know, spontaneously. I didn't have any plans or anything. So, like, I didn't have any plans to force him to come with me to the store. Like, he just asked, he was complaining that he's not seeing me. Okay, fine. If you want to go do my errands with me, fine. So he said, okay, I'll meet you at the store. Okay. So I get to the store, he's there, and we're walking around, and I'm shopping the same store, same grocery store. So we're shopping, I'm putting stuff in my cart. Then he starts shopping for his own things and put them in the same carts. So we end up with a very big cart full of stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, when we go to cash out, I had no intention for him to pay for my stuff. This was not a plan. I did not, like, I'm not expecting a lot from people I just meet, to be honest with you. Guys I just meet, I don't expect them to do nothing for me. That way I'm not disappointed. So I don't have any expectation at all. So he says to me, I'm going to pay for half your cart. So the card came to like $330 or something. And I said, okay, split it. I told the cashier, okay, split it in half. He'll pay half, I'll pay half. And then he goes in like, oh, but I wanted to pay $200. Like he had his budget. I'm like, okay, sure, go right ahead. So he paid the $200, and I was very happy. I was like, oh, thank you. I was surprised. Like guys don't normally do stuff for me. Like they do stuff, but like sometimes you gotta train them, and like if you go to dinner, you expect them to pay for it, but they don't really pay for other things until they really get invested. So I was interested. I was happy he did it, but I didn't need him to do it. But I was happy he did it. Like I enjoyed that. It felt good for once to have someone take care of me. I was like, oh, that's nice. Like since I've been divorced, I haven't actually met good men. Well, that's not true. I've met good men. It just didn't work out. So I remember the ending more than the beginning. I've actually had good guys that bought me flowers and took me on nice dates. And yeah, I shouldn't say that. So it's true. But it didn't work out. So I remember the ending more. Anyway, so he did all that. I thought it was very nice. So then he said to me, hey, I want to meet with you. I want to go out with you. So the next Monday was a holiday, Labor Day. So I said, Labor Day actually do have a bunch of errands to run, so I can't do lunch. He said, no, you can't find any time for me. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, I'll be busy up to 2 o'clock. So if we go for lunch, it's going to be late, like a later lunch. And he said, that's okay. I said, well, it's 2:30. I mean, that's kind of late. He's like, no, that's okay. I don't have work tomorrow, so I can do all this stuff. So I was like, okay. So the Monday comes, and I'm running around doing my stuff, and he messaged me and said, are we still on? He messaged me like 1:30. I said, sure, we're on. But like I said, I do have errands that I have to do today. So I'll ping you as soon as I'm done. I didn't say ping, I said message or something. Like, okay. So when I was done in my errands, it was like 2:15 or so, and I messaged him and said, hey, we can still go, but it's late. So before we had gone, I asked him where we were going to go, because he invited me to lunch. I'm like, where are you taking me? He don't know. He don't have no idea. So I said, how long you been in Atlanta? He said 6 years. But he don't know. So I was like, okay, all right. So you want me to plan the dates? He's like, yeah, just plan somewhere that you like. I said, okay, all right, okay. So he doesn't have a date in mind. He doesn't have a place in mind. I asked what kind of food he likes. He just says, I don't like Mexican food. I like Italian, I like whatever. So I said, okay, fine. I'll make sure I don't pick any Mexican places. So because it was 2:30-ish by the time I was done, I said, well, I sent him a place. I can't pick like a dinner place because it's 2:30. They haven't started serving dinner yet. I didn't want to pick like a very expensive place because I just met the guy. I don't want to like try to be overly, overdo it. And if I pick a regular restaurant, there is at 2:30, they're done with lunch, but they haven't started dinner yet. So it's like, it's hard to find a place. So I'm like, there was a coffee shop that I liked. I said, let's just do this coffee shop. I sent the link to the coffee shop. By the way, look at my boba. Boba. My daughter loved it. I actually bought it for my daughter, but I like it so much I probably buy another one for her and drink this one. It's really good. It's by this really nice little pop-up drink place that I found here. So anyway, I said, okay, so I sent him this coffee shop, but it's a really nice coffee shop. They have sandwiches in there, they have pastries in there, nice little ambiance, beautiful with lots of plants. It's really decked out nicely. It's not a Starbucks with all this noise. It's really cute. So I said to him, I said, hey, we could do this little Starbucks thing. And he wasn't impressed. Let's put it that way. He wasn't impressed with it. So I said, what happened? He's like, I don't want to go on a coffee date with you. I want to go on a proper date. I want you to be able to wear your pretty dress and your heels, and I want to feel like I'm going somewhere. I want to dress up and look, we look like a nice couple. I said, okay. All right, no problem. So he said, how about we cancel today and we do Friday? Make Friday gonna be a proper date, and we pick a nice place and we don't have to rush. And he says to me, I do have to work on Saturday, which I don't normally work on Saturday, but I have to work on Saturday, but it's going to be at 7 a.m. because he goes to work very early. He leaves like at 3 a.m. in the mornings. to be at work like 5:30 or something. So he's like, and I don't know why he has to wake up that early, because he told me again, and these are things that don't match. He told me that his job is 15 minutes away from where he lives. So why would you wake up at 3 to go to a job 5:30 when you live 15 minutes away? It's weird. Anyway, I don't ask so many questions. When I'm dating somebody, I don't ask them a whole ton of questions. I listen and I observe their actions. You do not need a laundry list of questions upon questions upon questions upon questions. You just need to be perceptive and to watch people's actions, because every human being will tell you who they are. They can't help it. They will reveal themselves. Just have to give them the opportunity to reveal themselves and understand what they're telling you when they do really reveal themselves. Their actions will tell you a lot more about them and their words, but you have to be able to decipher what they really are saying. Sometimes differ from what they actually say. So I said, okay, cool, let's do Saturday. Let's do Friday, and let's plan it. So we talk on the phone, and Monday comes, Tuesday comes, Wednesday comes, and I'm like, okay, we're talking, but he's not telling me what we're doing. So in between that, we had several conversations, and part of the conversation, he explained to me what happened to his previous 2 marriages. So he told me the first marriage, he was really young. He had no business being married. He was still running around. And by the way, he has no kids. These men are like maybe 50 by now. He's in 50s. I like him kind of older. So he's right up my alley for that age. And he said that he had no business being married. His wife was cheating on him. He was cheating on his wife. It was a mess. But he learned his lesson. He married a second wife. And then he gave me the most crazy story. I can't even repeat it because I don't understand it. Something about him and his wife. They had, at the end of their marriage, they had a lot of turmoil, and eventually his wife was trying to kick him out of the house, and she brought police to the house, even though it was paying for the place. She wanted to get him out, and he had to leave, and I don't know. It's a whole bunch of mess. I don't like drama. So I was like, So that filed away in my brain that there's some drama with this guy. And then throughout the course of him talking to me, he mentioned having family members in Fort Lauderdale and other parts of the country. And then at one point he mentioned how he was getting his mail at some other family member's house. And so based on him telling me random stories, I'm starting to form a picture of him being a little bit scattered. Like, part of his discussion included not knowing, not having a place to, not that I don't have a place to live, but like having his mail somebody else's place versus where he lives. And then he talked about a cousin he had, and the cousin was very filthy and nasty, and he went there and he's like, I wouldn't eat from that cousin, but he had to live with her because he didn't have another place to go. So I'm like, if you don't like this person, why do you have to live with them? It's like you're forced to live with them. You don't have your own place. I don't know, a whole bunch of mess. But I don't ask too many questions. I don't get deeper and deeper into it because some of it I don't care, because eventually the thing that matters to me will unveil itself, and that's what I will care about. And if you're not a part, if I don't want you in my circle anymore, you won't be. And he happened to just be cut out of my circle. I'll tell you how. So Wednesday comes, we're having this long conversation. He's telling me how much he likes me. He's telling me how he likes a girl like me because I'm well put together. You know, I'm looking kind of scruffy right now, but usually, you know, I got my hair done. I normally get my nails done. I normally try to put myself together, and I dress very well. And he likes how well spoken I am because I don't sound ghetto. Yeah, but all of this comes from being educated, right? I've spent a lot of time being educated, and I'm not talking about, no shade to the current education that they have at the colleges, but in my era, people were learning real things. You know, we're not learning, I don't know, liberal arts studies and some crap. You know, we're learning real stuff, engineering, you know, building stuff. Like, that's what I studied. So that was important. So I was noticing that he didn't tell me anything about the date on Friday. We're getting closer to Friday. I like a man that can plan and a man that can put things together. You say you don't want to go on a date where I choose the place. Okay, you choose the place that you want me to go, right? Because you don't like where I chose, so you choose. You plan it. I don't like planning the first date because I am an excellent planner. I can plan your whole life. I plan all of my vacations from January, and I take 2 vacations a year. You know, so I plan my whole year. I know what I'm looking forward to. I have all my goals. Like, I'm a super planner. That's why I don't want to plan the dates, because I know I can. I want to see if you can. And I don't want a relationship where I'm doing all the heavy lifting mentally. So that's a big turn off for me. So one time he asked me, what are you looking for in a man? And I said, I only have 2 requirements. And the requirements are that I need to find a man, and I want to find a man that has integrity and makes good decisions. And he was shocked. He's like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's all. I will be very happy with a man who has integrity and makes good decisions. And for me, that includes the love, right? If you want to be with me, it's a given to me that you have love or attraction to me. So I don't have to mention that. I don't have to mention that you're a person that I am also attracted to. I don't have to mention that. The main core characteristic I want from you is that you're a man of integrity, which means if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. I can put my neck on a block that you're going to get it done. I don't have to second guess you. I don't have to worry about you. You say you're going to do it, it's getting done. That's it. And if you make good decisions, good financial decisions, good personal decisions, good, you're just a person who makes good decisions, I don't have to worry about you. That's the man I want in my life. That's the man I want to give all my time to, all my energy to, all my love. If I find a man like that, oh my God, he would be so happy because I know how to make a man happy. So he said, oh, that's it. Okay. So in one other conversation, he was trying to get me to list out my red flags. Like, what are the things they don't like about me? And I refused. I said, what do you mean what I don't like about you? So yeah, tell me what are the things that you're worried about. I said, I don't have anything I'm worried about. I think we're going fine. I think we're talking to each other. We're getting to know each other. And I'm good. See, he wants to trap me. You don't understand that my brain is bigger than his. People see me and they think I'm simple. I probably can outsmart a lot of the guys I meet. When I meet a guy that's smarter than me, I'll be so happy. It's yet to happen. I need to be in a better space. Maybe I need to meet better people. Maybe the grocery store is not the best place to meet the smartest people. I don't know. But he's trying to trap me. It's a trap because he wants me to tell him everything that I don't like so he can know how to pretend. He can know what he should stay away from and what he should do. I just told him, be a man of integrity that makes good decisions. That's all I told him. And that wasn't enough. Like, he wants more. So he's like, what don't you like in a relationship? What are the things that turns you off? What don't you like about me? And I refused to tell him. I told him, you'll find out all of these things in time. The other thing too is that he would send me lovely messages throughout the day. He'd send me nice little romantic messages. He'd send me like pictures of flowers and chocolates. And he said to me, I want to send these to your house. I want to send these to you directly. I want to buy you flowers and buy you chocolate and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's so romantic. I love a romantic man. And that's true. I love romantic stuff. I love flowers. I love, chocolates. I love just little moments of romantic things. I like PDA. I like all of it. I'm really romantic. So he said, you want to send to my house? No, we had a conversation before where we're talking about cooking because buying stuff at the grocery store led us to talk about cooking. So it's really good. It's really good, guys. It has this little red boba in there. Oh my God. They're exploding in your mouth. I really like it. So we were talking about the food and he said, oh, it sounds like you can cook. And I said, yeah, I can cook. He's like, oh wow, when am I going to taste your food? I'm like, well, I don't know. So I was like, you can cook too, because he mentioned about the stuff he's going to make. I'm like, you can cook too. When are you going to invite me over to get some food? He's like, whenever you want. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And he said, well, no, seriously. I was like, when we have Thanksgiving, I plan to do a lot of cooking. So how about, you can come for Thanksgiving. We are in September. But again, I'm a planner. I will plan my whole year. So I already know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. I already know what I'm doing for Halloween. I know what I'm going to do for Christmas. Like, all of that's planned already. But I don't tell him that because I don't want to overwhelm him. So I said, you can come for our Thanksgiving and that'll be fine. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, you can come. I'm inviting you. He's like, oh, wow. And it's true. I would invite him. So he's like, oh, wow. So a couple days later, now this is the Thursday. Now remember, we're supposed to go out the Friday. Please remember that. So Thursday comes and we're having this conversation and he's like, I send you flowers and chocolate pictures, but I want to send you the real thing. Why don't you give me your address? So I said, No, sorry, I'm mixing it up. Wednesday, he asked me. So I was talking to him on Wednesday. It wasn't Thursday, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, he asked me, he told me that he wanted to send me the flowers and the chocolate and if I could send him my address. And I said, I'm not ready yet to send you my address. He's like, yeah, but how am I going to send you the flowers and all the stuff I want to send you? I'm like, yeah, well, you're going to see me in person on Friday, right? I'm going to be there in person, so you can give it to me in person. He didn't really like the answer, but he couldn't come up with a quicker rebuttal to that. So he let it go. And then we're talking. So Thursday comes, we're talking again. And he sends me more messages throughout the day and the night. Really nice. Nothing gory. He's not trying to get naked pictures or nothing. He was just really respectful. And I like that about him. He was very nice. So he sent me some more romantic, little quotes and some things that, the person he's been looking for, things like that. So we're talking on Thursday again. And he asked me again for my address. So you don't share my address. You told me that you're going to invite me to Thanksgiving. And I thought you'd give me your address then, but you haven't given me your address yet. Now remember, he asked me about Thanksgiving and he asked for my address. This is the second time he's asking for my address. And I told him again that I'm just not ready yet. I'm not comfortable yet and you'll get it in time. I said, you're going to get it in time. Don't worry. I'll give it to you eventually. He wasn't happy with that. He wasn't happy. He sounds like he wanted my address. I don't know why. Why do you want my address for? We are yet to go on a first date. Why you want my address? You want to pick me up? I don't need you to pick me up. I have a car that works. I'm quite okay. So I don't give people my address until I really get to know you very well. And this is only because I live in the US. When I lived back home in Jamaica, everybody knew everybody. Everybody goes to everybody's houses. Like, I know you from down the road. I know your family. I know everything about you. You come to my house. It's normal. But here, I have to take a layer of precaution as a single woman. I don't want to just give everybody I meet my address. I have to take precaution. So when I know you well, you can come to my house. You can come to my house. If I don't know you, you can't come until I get very comfortable with you. So anyway, he lets that go. So I said to him, oh, we're going out tomorrow. Where are we going? So before this, I told him I like guys that use their brains. We were just talking about something random. I love a guy that uses his brain. I love a guy who can think. I made that comment. It just in passing. We joke a lot. We talk a lot of funny stuff. So I said, where are we going? And he says, I don't know yet. I haven't thought about anywhere yet. So I was like, oh, okay. So how are we going to get there if you don't even know where we're going? He's like, how about you pick a place? I'm like, oh, I pick a place again? He's like, yeah. I said, why I got to do all the planning? He's like, because I don't want to use my brain. But it came out funny because we were just talking about men who use their brain. So he's like, Kara, to be honest, I don't want to use my brain. Like, oh my God. So I was like, okay. So this is a guy who doesn't like to plan a date, probably can't plan a date, and doesn't like to do any of the mental load. Okay, I'm going to do all the mental lifting. Okay. Not good. Oh, not good. So he says, so by now I'm like, why are you stressing me for my address? I picked a place, you don't like it. You cancel the dates, the first date. Now we're on to the second date. You don't want to plan again. And now I got to do all the lifting again. Okay. I said, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll go ahead and do it because I liked him somewhat. And I was like, okay, fine. Okay, let's see if this is going to be a regular thing. So I go online and I find a nice restaurant. He said he wanted to go to a nice restaurant, right? I asked him what kind of restaurant he wanted. He said he wanted to go to a nice place where you can dress up, have a nice dress code. You want to have a nice dinner, something I can get some wine, something fancy. I was like, okay, all right. So I booked a nice place and I reserved it for 8 p.m. on Friday. Now, after I reserved it, this was Thursday night because I like to get things done. Again, I'm a planner. So I did it from Thursday night, sent it to him. He said it was fine. On Friday morning, I wake up and he messaged me, hey, baby, I hope that you're having a good time. Yeah, you called me baby and all this stuff already, right? Want to give me a hug and kiss and all that. So I looked at my calendar. I realized, oh, shit, I forgot that I had an appointment, a consultation I had booked. And I have clients that come in. And the client would end at 6 p.m., which would not give me enough time to get home, change, and go back and arrive at the new place by 8 o'clock. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I had to change the client, ask the client if they could move But this was early in the morning. So because I looked at my calendar for the day, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this actual consultation. I was able to reach out to the clients, ask them to move to Saturday. They were willing to do that. I also had a few meetings that would end a little bit later in the afternoon. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to get home, avoid the traffic. So I moved all kinds of stuff because for me, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to have to do it. Now, I did make commitment to those clients, but I felt like it was okay to change because those clients, there's a history. They had rescheduled a few times. So I felt like, okay, you rescheduled 3 times. So if I need you to reschedule, it should be okay. And they were fine with that. So I was able to balance it out so I wouldn't have to miss our dates and I wouldn't disappoint my clients either. That's how I make my money. So he told me, oh, make sure you get your dress out that you're going to wear. I want to see in your heels because I told him I'm tall. And he's like, you haven't seen my heels, have you? So he's like 6 foot. So he's like, I'm not scared of you. I'm 6 foot. You're only 5'9". I'm like, well, when you see me put my heels on, you probably be scared of me. He's like, let me see if you're gonna transform into a basketball player. So he's funny, right? He's funny. So I was like, okay, fine. He's like, I want to see in your pretty dress and your heels. You're gonna look sexy. I can't wait to see you later. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So he's like, I know you, because I told him I have a little time problem. I'm not always early. So he says, I want you to take out your dress and your shoes and everything before you even go to work. So you know what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be wearing so you can be out earlier. We can get there on time. That's what he told me in the morning. I'm like, okay, sure. So I get out my dress, my shoes, I already planned, I'm going to comb my hair and my makeup laid out. So when I got home, I would just shower, everything would be organized. So I go to work and I leave work early on that Friday. So I would go home earlier. So I was going home around 3 o'clock. On my way home, he calls me and he says, he's talking to me regular. And then I said, what you doing now? He said, oh, I'm heading home. This is around 3:30, not even 4 o'clock yet. And he says, I have something to tell you. I'm like, what is it? He says, I was supposed to be at work tomorrow, Saturday, at 7. But they moved me up to 5. So I got to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? He's like, I don't know, it's 5 o'clock, I have to finish all this stuff. So I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I have to wake up early so I can get to work early in the morning. So I don't know how that's going to work with the dates. I said, oh, so you're not coming on the date? And he's like, no, it's not that. I just don't want to rush and I want to be able to spend time with you and all of this garbage. So I said to him, okay, but but you told me that we're gonna go on the States and you told me everything was fine. He's like, yeah, because I thought I was gonna get in at 7. No, I'm gonna get in at 5. So I said, okay, all right. No, I have the solution in my head, but I'm not gonna suggest it. I'm not gonna think for a grown man. I'm sorry. I'm not thinking for you. You have a date with me at 8 p.m. It is now 3:30. And you're telling me you can't make the date at 8 p.m. because you got to wake up early, while at the same time you're heading home at 3:30. A logical person who really wants to be on the date would go home at 3:30 and say, hey, baby, I can't talk to you. I'm going to go get a little nap because I have to wake up earlier to go to work and I have to go on a date. So I'm going to sleep now and get up around 7 to get ready for the date, and then I can get some sleep in. Isn't that what a logical person would do? You're heading home at 3:30. You got to be at work at 5 a.m. the next day. And you have a date with me at 8 p.m. and you can't make the date because you got to get to work at 5 a.m. All you have to do is go home. You're already on your way home, right? So you're already on your way home. Go home. And you said you're 15 minutes away from your job. Your house is 15 minutes away. So if you're on your way home at 3:30, you get there for 4 o'clock. Let's give you an extra 15 minutes of traffic or whatever. You get home for 4 o'clock. You can sleep 4 to 5, 6, 7. Get up at 7, you get ready, you come meet me at 8. I know you have to be early in the morning, so I won't keep you out late. We spend 2 hours for dinner, and then you go home and you sleep the rest of the time and wake up at 6, at 5. I mean, maybe you could wake up at 4 if you need an hour to get ready for work, I don't know. But it's doable. It's completely doable. Plus, I'm a person, sometimes I don't even get much sleep. I get 4 hours sleep sometimes, so I feel like as a man, as a soldier, as somebody who's supposed to be able to rough it out, you need to get your beauty sleep. That's why you can't come on the dates. I feel like that's a flimsy excuse. And given the fact that you already canceled one date, I feel like canceling the second date is a red flag. Plus the other things you told me about being, just scattering all over the place. I don't feel like you have a good. Now you have a place to stay, but you have past that's very like messy. And then he told me a story about his ex-wife one time. He told me his ex-wife was into like voodoo and witchcraft stuff. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I knew she was into that before I married her, but I don't know. I still married her anyway. I'm like, oh. So you don't make, in my head, I'm like, you don't make good decisions. Why would you marry somebody who's into voodoo? Unless you're in it yourself. And he gave me a story that sounded like he was in it too. I'm like, oh, I don't need none of this. I don't need to be a part of none of this garbage. So I was already like on my last, my mind wasn't made up with him with all the stories he told me. That's why you just need to listen to people and let them reveal themselves and don't ask a whole bunch of questions. They will reveal themselves. By talking, they'll reveal themselves and their actions also. So he said he couldn't make the date. I was like, okay. And then I didn't get mad with him. I was still on the phone with him. We're driving, we're going home, and he was annoyed. He had road rage a little bit because there's somebody who apparently was on the soft shoulder, and he was like, why is this guy blocking the soft shoulder? Why is this guy driving soft shoulder? I'm like, do you want to go over there? You want to drive on soft shoulder too? He's like, no, I'm not going to drive on there because I don't want the police to stop me. I'm a black man. I got to be careful. I'm like, okay. But the whole time while we we're on the phone, he was really annoyed at somebody blocking the soft shoulder. And I'm like, if you're not going in the soft shoulder, the person's not blocking you, why does it bother you so much? Plus, you have me on the phone. Talk to me. Why you kind of cursing at the guy? But every now and then he starts mentioning how the guy's really annoying and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. And then I don't know what happened. And I think he must have put his head out the window or put the phone down, and he started to curse at whoever on the street. And he used some colorful language from back home with some expletive, go suck your mother, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is this shit? Go suck it out your mother. If you're Jamaican, you know what I mean. It's a very derogatory thing to go and suck your mother. So I'm like, what kind of person is this? Some stranger on the street can cause you to become so irate. Then what are you going to do with me? What are you going to tell me if you're telling a stranger this? I'm like, you know what? Too many things here that I'm not comfortable with. First of all, you keep canceling the date. Second of all, you can't plan a date. Third of all, you have questionable things. You have voodoo in your history. You're running around, floating around. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a good match. The last thing that broke the straw was when he said to me if I could do the date Saturday instead. I told him no because I made some changes for Saturday, so I can't. Imagine the people that I moved around on Friday for this guy. I should move them around again for him again on Saturday again, and he won't meet. I don't know if he'll make it. I'm like, no. I can't do Saturday. I have other plans for Saturday. So then he left it at that. So I said, so where do you want to go? Where would you take me anyway? He's like, oh, I don't know. We'll go to the same place that you picked. I'm like, oh, so you don't have no idea? You don't have any other options? He's like, no, I'm just gonna go where you picked. I can't think of anywhere else. I'm like, okay. So lack of imagination. Can't think of a solution to the problem of getting to work earlier. If that even was, I'm not really convinced that was a true problem. I think maybe he didn't have the money. I don't know. It just, something wasn't right with that story. But if it even was true and he had to go to work earlier, he could have imagined a solution if he really wanted to go out with me. So I feel like that's a flimsy excuse. And then even when you have a chance and more time to think about another place, you couldn't pick up a place to save your life. You can't plan a day to save your life. Why am I doing with a guy like that? No. So after that conversation and hearing him cursing somebody else out in the most vile way, vulgar, I'm like, no. You and I are not a match. So he kept calling me and texting me. I just didn't respond. I normally don't block people. I normally give them a reason and tell them why I'm not talking to them. But in this case, I would have told him that, hey, I don't think it's a match. But when I got home the next day, my daughter wanted me to do something. She wanted me to work with her on something. There's this little fly that's just holding me alone. It's driving me nuts. So my daughter wanted me to pay attention for something, and I was sorry. So I was paying attention to my daughter with something. And he called me, so I couldn't answer him. And then he texted me to say, "Oh, I see you made your decision. I see what you've decided." This is like a couple of hours after I just talked to him. So I'm like, "Oh, so you gaslight? Hmm, you gaslight too? Okay, that's how you want to play this game? Okay." So I'm not even gonna respond. And he sent me another message with a whole bunch of stuff, like trying to curse me out, and I didn't respond. So I would have told him that this is not going to work, but he already knows that because he knows he behaved very badly. Because when he came back into when he stopped cursing at the guy on the street, he didn't realize I heard him. So he's like, "Oh, you heard that?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You need to calm down." And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Da, da, da. But it's too late. I already heard and saw what kind of person you are. So he messaged me like, "Oh, I see you made your decision," da, 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 because I missed his call. So I'm like, I don't need to explain myself to somebody who doesn't mean that much to me right now. And he should be trying to ask a question as opposed to assuming something and trying to gaslight me. I see you made her decision. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. What? Excuse you? Then he sent me a whole bunch of shit. I've never read the stuff that he sent me, so I don't know what it is. It just pops up and I just swipe it away. I don't even know. But it sounded like some cursing out thing, and I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing. So I just didn't call him back, and he hasn't called me back, and that's the end of that. Gone, bye, out. I have lost nothing. Sometimes you get rid of people out of your life, you don't lose anything. And it was a dating story, but it wasn't a dating story because we never gone on the dates. Only thing he did was pay for half my groceries. Whatever. I never asked him to do that. Thank you. But the personality, although he was funny, but there was a lot of things underlying that. The immediate anger that he showed in the road rage, that I'm like, that's explosive. That person can turn that anger on you at any moment. And then unable to plan a date, not willing to think, can't imagine a solution, being involved with shady voodoo like stuff. No. Nope, 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 nope. Third wife? No way. Okay? So that's that crazy story. And I think I'm going to get out of here now. And thank you for listening to this crazy story. And I'll be posting more crazy dating story as I go on this journey. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.